What's up, traders? Mark Bauman, StartTrading.com. Want to say happy Easter or post-Easter, whatever you call it. Hope everybody had a great weekend. The stock market is back up, at least for recovery stocks. If you're into EVs, not looking so good, but it's all right. It's going to bounce around this week is the understanding from traders. So everybody's talking about the bounce that's going to happen this week. Could be like a W. So there's going to be some opportunities for you to sell at a profit right now and get back in on the low. There's just a couple of things I'm going to cover on this one. We sold AMC. So you'll see that in the description. We sold our AMC. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button and hit subscribe. And make sure you, as always, hit that notification bell. So if you're watching on YouTube, if you're on Instagram, share this with your friends really quickly. So easy to do. And if you're on YouTube, send the link to a friend as well, because it'll help make them some money, or at least save them some money. AMC is doing, what they're doing is they're allowing people to come in and buy more shares. So they are going to take away, they're going to give out 100% the amount of shares they currently have issued out there. They're going to issue 500, I think it's 500,000 more or 500 million more. Don't quote me on the exact numbers, but they're going to double the amount of shares, which is going to have the price of the stock most likely. So today I was waiting for it to peak, and then I sold out all of my shares, or most of them, and I left a few in there, about 20 to 30% in each of my accounts. Let's see. If you're watching my screen right now on the TD Ameritrade app, we're down to 200. We were near 1,000. We had 700. We had a day gain of $1,000 on that 200 shares. So we had a couple $1,000 initially. Actually made up a lot of my 4,300 I made today on TD Ameritrade. We're still not back to the 200K, so we're still negative 60K since the drop there. Let's see, on my Robinhood account, we also sold out of most of those shares as well. And we're down to 100 shares in Robinhood. And in WeBull, we are down to, I think we completely sold out on WeBull. Nope, I'm sorry, we have, what was this, $10. WeBull's hard to see the amount of shares that you currently have in possession, in your positions. But in any case, hopefully you're watching AMC, sell, 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 sell. In the words of Jim Cramer, sell, 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 sell. So make sure you do that if you haven't already, or at least plan to this week, because you're going to, not only you're going to see fluctuations to AMC, I'm sure you'll still see some more recovery, maybe up to 14. That's why I held on to some shares, but I set a trailing stop loss, 6% on the remaining shares. And because, you know, I still want to make some money, just do a little gamble. And sold out most of my shares at anywhere from $10.73, where I was in profit, up to $11 that it peaked at today. In addition, Qualcomm. I've been pushing Qualcomm because Qualcomm was a steady horse through the pandemic. They're continuing to rise. The only reason that they have hit a decline was because all stocks hit a decline, but also because of chip shortages, which deeply impacted that company. But today they're back up, and we set up new options for ending this week as well as 2 weeks from now. You should do the same if you want to make some money. Great time to get options on Qualcomm. And I actually saw, I believe Chris Sane also mentioned Qualcomm as well, but I've been a big bull on Qualcomm. And if you watch my other videos, Waste Management and Qualcomm are steady stocks through the pandemic. And Waste Management actually barely got impacted March 8th. So that's when all the stocks dropped. So in addition to that, EVs, it's a good time to start buying in on some of the EVs. Let's go. We bought some CCIV today. We bought, more CCIV, a couple hundred shares. We also bought some options across all the different platforms. We bought 3 options for April 9th. We bought, you can see my Qualcomm options. I bought 1 Qualcomm option for April 9th as well. I'd probably buy another one today. I was going to see how tomorrow looks, because tomorrow could be a down day for a lot of stocks. If it's following some of the previous patterns from the last 2 weeks. It's kind of skipping a week is what I'm seeing in these patterns, but we'll see. Tomorrow will define that. Obviously, I bought 2 more for May 7th for CCIV. So actually, that was more than 2 weeks. I'm sorry. So that was that's a month out. So I would definitely take a look at that. If you haven't already, TD Ameritrade we bought as well. I bought across all my platforms, basically. Some more CCIV because I like that company and I like the value that it's in right now. And let's go to my orders, order status. In addition to that, BLNK, Lee, super cheap right now. very cheap, especially on the Chinese EVs. You have a great opportunity because they were impacted by not only the delisting threats, but they're also impacted by the chip shortages. So those are basically cheap penny stocks at the moment. So I would get in on those. And if you are looking for great recovery stocks that are going to have a huge, not only a huge return in the short term, but in the long term as well. Again, I keep on pushing this: Caterpillar, Boeing, and Waste Management. Those are my three favorites as far as going to be strong no matter what's going on. You're not going to have the huge 10% spikes. They did have a 5% spike, I believe Caterpillar did, after that big dip that everybody had, but that was only because it was, you know, counteracting that dip, or reacting to that dip. So I would definitely take a look at those. On to cryptocurrencies. We did not have the crash that I thought we were gonna have and I was hoping for, but we did have a stall today. So we had what was expected to be a crash because of all those options expiring. Never actually happened. Very strange. Somehow it's been able to support, but not at higher levels. So today is going to be a defining day. If it could push back last week's, let's bring up, where are we going? BitHum. We'll go to BitHum. If it could bring up last week's numbers to go over 60K, if it could pass over 59,985, I believe, was like the high. If it could pass that, then we may see growth further upwards later in the week. But if it doesn't reach past that, like today it was pushing hard, but there's a lot of sell-off. If it doesn't reach past that, we're gonna just see it hump down, and then it'll pop up, come down, pop up, come down further, pop up, come down further, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a, if you're following it, it's going to have that same downward trend pattern as it just had up, and you might see a steep sell-off on one of the days. So let's see, let's get into our BitHum. Okay, so if you're watching live, bear with me, especially since you can't see my screen if you are on Instagram. If you get over to our YouTube though, you can see my screen and see what I'm looking at. So you'll see my account value kind of tripled to 300 something thousand. I was up to 300, it's down 255, but that was because of the token I've been telling you all to get into repeatedly, MBX. MBX is on a low right now. So in cryptocurrencies, MBX is a buy. We currently are sitting at 3.3 million or 4.1 million shares in MBX, and we also have in our wallet a good amount as well. Let's see, where are we going over to? I'm just going to show you on the charts real quick, Bitcoin, so you can see what I'm looking for. Ooh, it already had its huge sell-off. I was not paying attention today. Let's see. Is that at 45,000? No. Oh no, this is in comparison to Ruby. I clicked the wrong trading comparison. Hold on. Oh my God. Okay. It's at 58,960. Sorry if I scared you. You're watching live. Bitcoin's at 58,960. So let's look at the charts. Look at the one-day comparison. See how it didn't quite make it on this last up. It's trying again, but it didn't quite make it past its peak. It was, the peak was 61,000 was the peak, okay. So the peak was 61,000 last week. So you wanna see if it can push past that, then you're gonna see upward trends again. Otherwise it's going to cycle back down and then pop up past 61,000. So hopefully it cycles back down to around 48,000, 50,000 mark. You could start buying back in around 52. That's where we're going to start buying back in, and then ride that sucker back up again. eToro, covering everything today. eToro, you got your stock picks, you got your cryptocurrency picks. XRP is also a great pick. That's up already 60%. We bought a couple $1,000s worth of shares in XRP, or a couple $1,000s worth of tokens, because they are going through the litigation and it's looking favorable for them. So we are going to see that stock really pop once there's a determined outcome of the court cases, as well as XLM, which is the backbone for MBX. That's also had some great growth. So we had about $733 in our copy trades. We moved out of some copy trades when Bitcoin was supposed to drop into buying XLM, and that worked out nicely. We're up $2,500 in the account. And again, I made this purchase, XLM purchase, as a decision. but we're copying Clefsphere right now. We switched out copies to someone that's a little bit more diverse versus our Bitcoin only copier. So if we click on him, you can see how the funds are dispersed between all these different tokens. And I like how he's doing that. TRX is up, ADA is up, and Ethereum is up, and Bitcoin's up at the moment. And so he's well diversified, so I like that. So that's why I chose Clefsphere over just a Bitcoin or Ethereum purchaser, because I know the other currencies are going to have a higher spike versus, say, Bitcoin's 10%. You'll see 15 to 20% on the other currencies. So there's going to be volatility in the cryptocurrency market and in the stock market this week. Don't feel dismayed. Just have some money on the sidelines, like we still have our AMC. We're going to buy new options of that probably tomorrow, definitely Wednesday when it gets midweek, unless we're seeing steep declines. So thanks for watching. And as always, get onto starttrading.com, click that like button, hit the subscribe button, share with a friend if you think there's value in what we're discussing, and love you all out there. Make some money. Thanks.